All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Ward F Community Caucus, where we discuss the community's agenda items, the city's agenda items that will be voted on during the city council meeting. Today is Saturday. We host our community caucus on Saturdays because the public is not allowed to speak during the Monday caucus. The Monday caucus is only for the administration to review the council agenda items. So we like to hear the community's feedback in advance. This way, Councilman Gilmore can collect your thoughts and apply them to his questions that he will raise during the Monday caucus. This Monday's caucus is taking place at 10 a.m. All the hyperlinks to go live or view them live can be scanned here. You can participate via Zoom during our community caucus. That link is available at everythingwardf.com/caucus and click on the blue join the 11 a.m. caucus live link. Then on Mondays, you can watch via Microsoft Teams by scanning the second quadrant. And on Wednesdays, you can sign up to speak in advance by scanning this lower third quadrant. And then, of course, our archived recordings are available on YouTube. So all of these QR codes are available online at everythingwardf.com. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and review the city council agenda. We have 6 new ordinances on the agenda. These are first readings. Ordinances have to pass twice. So they'll be introduced at one meeting, and then they'll be voted into law the second time around. So without further ado, the city council agenda for Wednesday, July 10th, 2024 consists of Ordinance 3.1, an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 2, Traffic Regulations. Oh, I do want to say I tend to go through this quickly because we do have a lot to cover. If at any time you need me to stop, or if at any time you have a question, feel free to just interrupt me. You can, like I said, you can join live via Zoom on everythingwardf.com/caucus and just either raise your hand or just chime in. It's a very casual conversation. 3.1 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 2, Traffic Regulations, amending Section 332-9, stop intersections to designate the intersection of Van Boer Street and Morris Street as stop-controlled intersections. So this will control traffic. If at any time you're interested in having a stop sign added to your block, if you think traffic should be further regulated in your neighborhood, just send us an email and we'll forward that request to the traffic division for a traffic study. 3.2 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Parking, Standing, and Stopping, amending Section 332. I'm just going to make this a little bigger for everybody to see, including myself. Okay, an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Parking, Standing, and Stopping, amending Section 332-24.1, limited duration parking along Mallory Avenue and Williams Avenue. 3.3 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 9, Parking for the Disabled of the Jersey City Code, designating a reserved parking space at various locations throughout the city. 3.4 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 5, 6, 7, 8, permit parking, amending Section 332-58, parking restrictions in residential zones to extend parking zone 2 to include Newark Avenue between Senate Place and Tunnelly Avenue. Now, the Ward F office has submitted requests for additional residential parking zones in Ward F. Those requests are still pending. We're gonna schedule a meeting with parking because we have several requests that are still pending. So we want to get updates on them. Not only parking, residential zone parking, but also the delineators that are supposed to be going up on Randolph Avenue near the light rail station. And there's supposed to be like some crosswalk safety improvements being made at that light rail station. We talked about this several months ago. They haven't been made yet, so we're going to follow up on that. Again, if at all you see or believe your neighborhood can benefit from some traffic improvements, just reach out to our office and we'll get that traffic study request submitted. 3.5 is an ordinance amending ordinance 23-093, an ordinance authorizing the execution of 3 financial agreements. Who are these agreements with? We're going to go scroll down to the purpose box, and they don't give us any details. Normally the purpose box gives us a summary. Let's see if we can summarize this real quick. Redevelopment law and pursuant to ordinance 8-025, the city adopted a redevelopment plan known as the Bayfront. So this is regarding Bayfront redevelopment plan. The area is located on the west side of the city. This is Ward A. Redevelopment plan in part provides the creation of 35 lots, development with approximately 70 acres of development parcels. And in 2018, the municipal city council adopted the ordinance authorizing public financing for the acquisition of development lots. And in 2019, the city became the fee simple owner of the development lots. And in June of 2019, in connection with the redevelopment of phase 1 development area, the city entered into a certain cooperation agreement with the agency pursuant to that, which the agency developed and issued a request for proposals. And after the conclusion of the RFP process by resolution in 2020, the agency conditionally designated Bayfront Redevelopment Partners, the initial redeveloper, a joint venture. Okay. Trying to get to the resolved portion. Whereas. So here are the 3. The urban renewal entities collectively agreed to 1, restrict 35% of the 2,210 residential units, a total of 74 units as affordable housing units, 32 of which shall be restricted to households earning 50% of the area median income or less, and 42 of which shall be restricted to households earning 60% of the area median income or less, and provide 66 workforce housing units. 2, pay to the city an annual service charge equal to 5% of residential rental income plus 10% of other residential and commercial income, which sum is estimated in the application to be $296,000 a year. And 3, pay to the city an annual sum equal to 2% of each prior year's annual service charge, estimated to be $5,926 in year 1 as administrative fees. And 4, to pay the city for remittance to Hudson County an amount equal to 5% of the annual service charge, estimated to be $14,815 a year in year 1 upon receipt of the annual service charge discussed in 2 above. And then they have several other fees. So these are all the fees that they are agreeing to pay the city or pay for. The project will be the first development within the redevelopment area and will become a catalyst for all future developments. Project will further the overall redevelopment projects. So I believe each project is supposed to have 35% affordable. The whole Bayfront in general is supposed to be 35% affordable. So each project will then be 35% affordable. So that's looking good. Okay. 3.6 is an amendment to the Journal Square 2060 redevelopment plan regarding inclusion of a mandatory affordable housing requirement along the updates to some bulk signage and usage standards. So this was a first reading. They're reintroducing it as a first reading. I see it listed as a second reading too. Okay, so this is the first reading amending the second reading. So they'll either vote this down or they'll probably vote the first reading, vote for the first reading, and then also vote to amend it. Because there's a issue with the areas included, the zones that are included, 4, 4A, 5, 7, and 8. So we'll learn more about that during the caucus meeting on Monday. 4.2 is an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City adopting amendments to the Lewis Munoz Marin Boulevard redevelopment plan regarding the use and and bulk standards to District 2 of the redevelopment plan and other associated standards. So they're going to revise it pursuant to the requirements of the local redevelopment housing law. 4.3 is an ordinance authorizing the acquisition by purchase or condemnation of a portion of a private easement located between City Block 9905, Lot 9, and portion of a Block 9906, Lot 1, that traverses the Brunswick Community Garden. So this lot, per Councilman Solomon, has been a community garden for decades, and there's a strip of land that runs perpendicular to it that we want to protect to make sure that the community garden will always have access via this land. So we're just protecting the community garden. 4.4 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332 Vehicles and Traffic, Article 9, Parking for the Disabled of the Jersey City Code, designating a reserved parking space at various locations throughout the city. And then here are the list of persons that requested disabled parking spaces. If you are a disabled person and you want to request a disabled parking space for yourself or a family member, just reach out to our office and we'll provide you the instructions on how to do so. So far, there are only 4 people signed up to speak at the city council meeting. If you want to sign up to speak, just go to everythingwordf.com/caucus and scan this sign up to speak link right here. You do need to sign up in advance to speak on anything and everything that you would like. The only time you don't have to sign up to speak is when you are speaking on in regards to a second reading. For any other topic, you do need to sign up to speak. And we'll skip on down to the resolutions, how we spend our money. Resolutions are how we spend our money, and also who and what we observe. So we have observances, or we might be giving people acknowledgement resolutions for their work in the city. And so this is where that portion of the meeting would take place. 10.1 is a resolution. 10.1 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Jersey City determining that the budget for the calendar year 2024 shall be read by title in accordance with NJSA 40A 4-8. So this is just saying that it shall be read, but it is not listing the budget. Oh, it's authorizing the resolution for the budget adoption to be read by title with amendments. Okay. 10.2 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of a contract award to Fifth Asset Inc., DBA, doing business as Debt Book, for the annual subscription for debt and lease management software under the National Cooperation Purchasing Alliance for the Department of Finance, Division of Treasury and Debt Management. I'm just going to check my text real quick to make sure nobody's having a problem joining this meeting. Okay. So this is the company assisting us with our debt management. It's a shame we have to outsource all of this work. We have nobody in the city that can do it. 10.3, a resolution ratifying an award of a contract to Carasoft Technology Corp. for an annual subscription for the grant dashboard through the U.S. Communities Government Purchasing Alliance, known as Omnia Partners, for the Department of Finance, Division of Grant Administration. Very important that we have a way to manage these grants. We want grants. We need grants to keep taxes down. 10.4 is a resolution authorizing a lease with the state of New Jersey Office of Legislative Services for the use of office space located at 39 Kearney Avenue by Assemblywoman Barbara McCann-Stamato pursuant to. So is she renting this space? Because she's not a city employee. She's an assembly person. And okay, good. We're getting money. So whereas the state of New Jersey Legislative Services desires to enter into a lease agreement with the city to use the premises of office space for Assemblywoman Barbara McCann-Stamato at a rent of $3,200 per month for initial term. So I wonder which space. It can be renewed for 1 additional 2-year terms. Okay, I'd just like to know which rooms she's gonna be in. And consists of approximately how much square feet? It doesn't say what part of 39 Kearney Avenue she'll be renting. As you know, Councilman Gilmore's office, that's our primary office at 39 Kearney Avenue. I did hear through the grapevine that she would be using, I think, one of the boardrooms that was previously used by housing. They had sectioned out one of the boardrooms and used them for as cubicles. So maybe she's getting one of those because housing went back to their original building. All right, 10.5 is a resolution authorizing the award of competitively bid contract with Associated Appraisals Group to provide appraisal services in support of the Jersey City tax assessor and property valuation and in defense of assessments on tax appeals. When you get your taxes, don't just take your taxes and say, oh, my taxes went up, this is what I have to pay. Be sure you review it, get a second opinion, because people make mistakes. The city makes mistakes, and people have won their tax appeals. So the buck doesn't stop just when you get the bill. Definitely have it reviewed by someone with some knowledge. Make sure the survey is correct. Make sure your property value is being assessed properly. And make sure if you still have deed restrictions and things like that, I would definitely get a second opinion to make sure you're being taxed and assessed properly. 10.6 is a resolution authorizing the award of a competitively bid contract with Integra Realty Sources, Northern New Jersey LLC, to provide appraisal services in support of Jersey City's tax assessor and property valuation and in defense of assessments on tax appeals. 10.7 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City demanding a comprehensive environmental impact statement for the New Jersey Turnpike expansion and the rejection of the draft environmental assessment from the Turnpike Authority. Super important. They're trying to expand the Turnpike right at Marist. I used to go to Marist, and even like that 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, when I was attending Marist, it was rumored to be knocked down and turned into a Turnpike exit or be knocked down for the Turnpike. So this has been in the works for decades. For decades they have wanted to expand the Turnpike and use the space that it's really near City Line. If you've never been to Marist and Bayonne, as soon as you cross over to Bayonne, Marist is right there on the right side on JFK. And they did sell the school. They knocked it down. They initially sold it to a developer who was going to create like hundreds of units. But that developer is now entertaining the sale of it to the state for the Turnpike expansion. So we want to fight against this expansion. The expansion will only create a larger bottleneck going into New York. You can't make the tunnel bigger, right? And until they make these bridges bigger, it's just going to create a larger bottleneck in Jersey City, which is going to emit more fumes from all of these cars. It's just going to bring more traffic to our area, several reasons. And if you need more reasons why you should fight against the Turnpike, feel free to come out on Monday. Let's go to let me show you our community forum page so you can see if we have the Turnpike expansion flyer up here. Or if you go to our Instagram page, let's see. I'm just gonna click on this to get to our Instagram page. We have the flyer for the Turnpike expansion on our Instagram page and on our Facebook page if you want to learn more about the rally that's being held at the Bethune Center. Oh, it's gonna make me sign in. See if I can just get to our Instagram page. Sign it. We'll go to our Instagram page for that flyer. It's on the 9th at the Bethune Center around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the rally will begin. And you can learn about all the reasons why this turnpike expansion is a bad idea. For all the reasons why it's a bad idea. 10.8 is a resolution granting access to New Jersey Department of Transportation to real property owned by the city of Jersey City, known as Block 287, Lot 5, as shown as official tax map of the town of Kearney for the purpose of constructing drainage systems along Route 7. 10.9 is a resolution honoring Frank Lamparelli upon his retirement. Oh, Frank's retiring. Hopefully he trains his replacement very, very well. Frank has been here, man, since how long? Schundler days. So Frank's retiring. Wow. I really hope, city employees that have worked for the city for decades should write books. Seriously, they should write how-to books, how-to guides. They should get with a writer if they're not writers themselves and really put their knowledge in black and white, set their knowledge in stone and hand it over before you retire. We lose a lot of good people to retirement. I mean, everybody wants to retire. At some point, everybody has to retire. And that's your right to retire. But I would love for the city to initiate something that says, before you retire and take these decades of city experience with you, put it on wax, or put it in black, put it in ink, put it down so your subordinates can still continue to learn from you. So your whomever's taking over after you can continue to learn from your wisdom, because we don't want to bother you during your retirement and ask you how you did something. So, congratulations to Frank. 10.10 is a resolution recognizing Linda Wade for her contribution and dedication to the city. 25 years at various organizations, including Essex County Treatment and Substance Abuse Center, Horizon Health Center and Youth Sex Education Program, Jersey City Unemployment and Training Program, and the Jersey City Public School District. Another one that, retirees write books. Somebody will read them. Somebody will buy them. If anything, they go down in history. And we need to record our history and not have other people recording them. 10.11 is a resolution ratifying a month-to-month extension not to exceed 3 months of a contract with Creeshore LLC to provide the city of Jersey City with insurance consulting services and to be the city's broker of record for obtaining and maintaining the city's medical benefits, prescription, and stop-loss insurance plans. 10.12 is a resolution ratifying the first of 2 renewals of a competitively bid contract with Unicorn HRO LLC for payroll and human services for the Departments of Finance and Human Resources. I'm sure we'll probably have some city employees coming out to talk about Unicorn. Unicorn sucks, so I've heard, and so I've experienced. We had huge issues when we first switched over to this payroll service. A lot of people did not get paid on time or did not get paid properly. And to my knowledge, there's still people waiting for their proper payment. 10.13 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City awarding Community Development Block Grant Public Facilities CDBG PF Program Year 2022 unallocated funds and authorizing the execution of a MOU with the City of Jersey City Department of Recreation and Youth Development for an improvement project at Persian Field. So Persian Field is going to be improved with leftover funds from CDBG. When is Berry Lane gonna get fixed? While we're talking about parks and fields, there's been a huge issue with Berry Lane sprinklers over the past couple of summers. Basically, it was just installed. It was a poor installation plan, and it needs to be dug up and redone. $1 million park, multi-million-dollar park that was poorly installed. So we need some funds raised for Berry Lane Park to get fixed, because it's a hot summer. 10.14 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City authorizing the business administrator to execute a discharge of mortgage encumbering 67 Bidwell Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey, aka Block 24102, Lot 5. Okay, so we're discharging this mortgage. So they will no longer have a deed restriction. 10.15 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City authorizing the acceptance of the remaining fiscal year 2023 allocation under the Community Service Block Grant, non-discretionary funds from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. So that's $975,000 unused. Okay, let's try to understand this. Let's go to the purpose box and see if they. So it's to approve the acceptance of the remaining fiscal year 2023 allocation under grant agreement from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs in the total amount of $632,000 with an increase of $9,000 for a total award of $985,000. I mean, 600 plus 9 is not 985. I'm not sure how they got that total. Authorize the city's Department of Finance to establish and increase proper accounts for the remaining CSBG funds. Grant funds, initial allocation, expected allocation, and this is for a previous year. So we'll have Deja will come up and explain these numbers. So we're receiving more funds from the state, which is good. And we'll find out where they go, where these extra funds go. 10.16 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City to approve the sale of 71 North Street and authorize Ali Herawer and Raja or Haramun to assume the city's mortgages encumbering the property. So why are we selling this property and what will it be used for? So Daniel Rivera, the owner, purchased 71 North Street in 2013. The owner received home funds from the city in amount of $175,000 to secure permanent financing of a 2-bedroom condo. Then the owner received Affordable Housing Trust Fund funds in the amount of $33,000 to secure permanent financing of the 2-bedroom condo. And the city secured the home funds by executing a mortgage note and deed restrictions, which were recorded in 2013 as a third lien against the property. City secured Affordable Housing Trust funds by executing a mortgage, which were recorded. The property is subject to the covenants, conditions, and restrictions set forth in the city's mortgages, which were recorded in the Hudson County Registrar's office. Property remains subject for the 30-year affordability restrictions set forth. The owner is deceased and his estate. Oh, so this is Councilman Rivera's father. The estate of Daniel Rivera desires to sell the property and has worked with the city to establish a maximal allowable resale price. The estate of Daniel Rivera has executed a contract for sale to sell the property to Ali for $188,000. How was this property, which costed $175 plus $33,000, being sold for only $188? Like, it should be worth over $500,000 now. That's a great deal. It's still an affordable. The city's Division of Community Development has reviewed the financial condition of the buyers and recommends the transfer of title to the buyers. The property will remain subject to the covenants and restrictions, so it'll remain affordable. So it'll remain an affordable unit. And so I guess he's just selling it to pay off the mortgage, selling it at cost with no profit. I mean, I feel like the city should make a profit, if anything. Somebody, so nobody's making a profit on. I mean, that's a great deal for the buyer. And how is the buyer selected? Okay, we'll have questions about that. 10.17 is sure I would have bought it for $188,000. 10.17 is a resolution awarding a professional services agreement to Bianca Mano and Di Stefano PC to provide defense counsel services to related to workers' compensation claim petitions filed against the city of Jersey City. 10.18 is a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept funds from JASNR under the National Opioid Settlement. How much we get? $107,000. 10.19 is a resolution introducing and approving the 2024-2025 budget of the McGinley Square Special Improvement District, directing the city clerk to publicly advertise the budget and schedule a public hearing, and directing the tax assessor to prepare an assessment roll of properties within the district based upon the budget. 10.20 is a resolution accepting the 2024-2025 Exchange Place Alliance Special Improvement District. I'm sure this is supposed to be budget, 2025 budget of the Exchange Place Alliance. So that's missing a word. Exchange Place Alliance Special Improvement District. Whereas the owners duly sent a notice of public hearing assessment roll. When was the public hearing? Whereas July 10th, the public hearing was held by municipal council to consider objections. The budget year, July 1st through June 30th. Okay, so we have questions about the Exchange Place Alliance and when their meetings are held. They are trying to expand the Exchange Place district to include for several other properties west of the current Exchange Place line. So these are the current lots in the district and what they pay into the Exchange Place Alliance Fund. Okay. So we've been asked by constituents to find out when exactly their meetings take place. So we'll do that at this time during the caucus. 10.21 is a resolution adapting and ratifying the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget of the Exchange Place Alliance Special Improvement District of the City of Jersey City. 10.22 is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept the 2024 Childhood-Led Program Grant awarded by the State of New Jersey Department of Health Office of Local Public Health. 10.23 is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Recreation Youth Development to apply for and accept grant funds from the Governor's Council on Substance Use Disorder for a fiscal grant cycle July 2024 through June 2025, and to disperse grant funds for the delivery of substance abuse prevention education. 10.24 is a resolution awarding the awarded contract to Software House International Corp. For Cisco SmartNet annual support for security updates under state contract for the Department of Public Safety Communications Center. 10.25 is a resolution ratifying the submission of a grant application and authorizing the City of Jersey City to accept fiscal year 2024 the Community Court Initiative Grant Award from the Bureau of Justice Assistance, United States Department of Justice. 10.26 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a City of Jersey City of a termination of deed notice affecting portions of various public streets and the execution of a new notice in lieu of deed notice affecting a portion of Fifth Street and other public streets requested by Honeywell International. All right, they want to terminate a deed notice affecting portions. Are they paid in full? Is that why? Corporation with its principal place of business at 115 Tabor Road, Morris Plains. The city has jurisdiction over properties which are public right-of-ways. So it's along 440. Whereas in the fall of 2021, the city executed a NILODN that affected the properties. The old NILODN was missing a property that is now a portion of Fifth Street. It is necessary to terminate the old NILODN and replace it with the new one that includes the portion of Fifth Street. The New Jersey DEP has approved the new notice in lieu of deed notice as a institutional control for the properties, which is part of the remediation of the property. Okay. So they have to terminate one to instead of amending it. The mayor or business administrator is authorized to execute the termination of a deed notice attached here too, subject to such modifications as corporate council deems necessary. Okay. 10.27 is a resolution approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Monticello Avenue roadway rehab project. Is this the one attached to the recent traffic control they just tried to do? I mean, getting grant funds is great, so we don't have to use city dollars. Okay, 10.28. Excuse me. Is a resolution authorizing an amendment to a professional services contract agreement with the Street Plains Collaborative, Inc. to provide on-call transportation, planning and design services on various projects. So the Department of Infrastructure requires additional transportation planning and design services to execute projects associated with the Vision Zero Action Plan, the JC Walks Pedestrian Enhancement Plan, and the Let's Ride JC Bicycle Master Plan. Whereas Street Plans in Brooklyn agrees to provide services for a sum not to exceed $125,000. It's necessary to amend the contract with Street Plans to extend the contract term. 10.29 is a resolution authorizing the use of competitive contracting to award a contract for an on-call professional architect to provide consulting services. 10.30 is a resolution authorizing the payment of a claim submitted by Environmental Systems Research Institute, Inc. for providing support services by consulting services and preparing data and deploying ArcGIS Urban. 10.31 is a resolution authorizing the payment of a claim submitted by Dell for providing support services for the annual support of spatial data logic software license under the state contract for the Department of Administration, Division of Information Technology. 10.32 is a resolution of the City of the Jersey City Council advocating for the federal prohibition on the purchase of 1 to 4 family homes by hedge funds, private equity, corporations. Let's start this over. A resolution of the Jersey City Council advocating for the federal prohibition on the purchase of 1 to 4 family homes by hedge funds, private equity corporations, and institutional investors, and supporting the End Hedge Fund Control of American Homes Act. This is beautiful. I wholeheartedly support this because for anybody who has been trying to buy a house since COVID, really, it has been super, super hard. While we were at home getting well from COVID or trying to stay healthy during the COVID pandemic or epidemic or whatever, these hedge funds and corporations have been buying up property. They have been buying up property at an all-time high rate. There's a fact here that says in 1 year alone, they bought up about 25% of the properties. 15%. In 2020 alone, 15% of all homes and all home purchases in Jersey City were made by these entities. So that means if there's 15% bought in 2020, another 15% bought in 2021, another 15% bought in 22, and another 15% bought in 2023, that's 60%. Over half of Jersey City is probably owned by corporations. And it's ridiculous. Corporations can buy out anybody. They can overbid anybody. And so when you're trying to buy a home, and I believe they can't bid on a home for the first maybe 20 or 30 days, but still it might take that long for you to get your money right, or for you to get the home loan approval, or for you to get up your funds to pay the down payment or whatever. After that 30 days, a corporation can come in and outbid you. And if this seller is trying to sell quickly, they'll take that higher bid over you because it's business. It's not about them wanting to sell to, a family. They're going to take the higher offer. And unfortunately, real people have been losing out to corporations. So kudos to Solomon for sponsoring this legislation. Yusuf Soleil sponsored this legislation and supported by, I believe, Solomon and Councilman Gilmore, because it's been rough out here for anybody trying to buy a home, not just in Jersey City, but across the state of New Jersey, period. 10.33 is a resolution supplementing the manual of loading zone designations of the city of Jersey City, designated as a loading zone on Mallory Avenue and Williams Avenue. 10.33 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract to Adamo Brothers Construction for the Pavonia Marion Park renovations, project number 2019-038 for the Department of Infrastructure, Division of Architecture. 10.35 is a resolution awarding a contract to Rare Stop Inc., DBA, doing business as Fleetio, for the purchase of fleet management maintenance software for the Department of Public Works, Division of Automotive Maintenance, and pursuant to NJSA 40A. 10.36 is a resolution authorizing the award of an open-end contract to Central Poly Bags Corporation for the supply and delivery of polyethylene bags for the Department of Public Works. These are garbage bags. For 34,000. 10.37 is a resolution authorizing the award of the competitively bid contract to Avenue for the monitoring and compliance enforcement of short-term rentals. I want to review this. Our office spoke with someone else who previously bid on this contract, but decided not to bid this year. For a specific reason. I need to pull up those notes and put them in front of Councilman Gilmore, because there was something up with this RFP that it wasn't all inclusive. Like, they didn't bid because they felt like the city needed to include more in their RFP or be more specific to really have the monitoring be results in proper regulation. So we'll look at 1037 closer. 10.38 is a resolution amending a professional services agreement with Willents, Goldman and Spitzer, PA, to provide legal counsel, bond counsel to the city of Jersey City. 10.39 is a resolution authorizing an agreement for energy brokerage services with Energy Procurement Partners, Inc., based on informal solicitation of quotations for a concession pursuant to NJAC 534. 1040 is a resolution authorizing amendments to the calendar year 2024 municipal budget. Have they amended a budget? Did we approve the budget yet? It was introduced and approved on May 8th. Oh, I guess we did. I thought it was just introduced. I didn't know it was approved. The public hearing was held on June 12th, and where it's desired to be amended budget prior to adoption. Okay, so it was introduced and approved, but not adopted. Okay. And the budget amendment is as follows. From 71,784,564 to 71,816,564. So they're raising it a little. Scrolling through the entire budget slowly so that for any of you that want to look at this in detail, you can pause the video at any time to take a screenshot and review it, or you can go to everythingwardf.com/caucus and make your way to the city council agenda. Seven point 41 is a resolution to adopt the calendar year 2024 municipal budget. Okay, so, all right, so the budget was not adopted yet. We will adopt it here. If you want to sign up and talk about the budget, you need to sign up in advance because they already had the public hearing. 10.42 is a resolution authorizing a closed session of the municipal council on Wednesday, August 14th at 5 p.m. to discuss issues related to pending litigation for the 6th Street embankment. Long time coming for the end of this. 10.43 is a resolution to commemorate the passing of John J. Jack Hallahan Jr. May his soul rest in peace. And 1044 is a resolution commemorating the Grapevine Tavern's 90th anniversary of receiving the City of Jersey City's first issued liquor license. And with that said, also want to send my condolences out to the family of Dawood Davis. His wife recently passed. So we just definitely want to pay our respects. And send our condolences to the family of Dawood and the whole cast family, the whole Community Awareness Series family. They're suffering a great, tremendous loss right now. So a moment of silence. With that said, thank you so much for your attention. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the Office of Councilman Gilmore. You can find all of our contact information at everythingwardf.com. Click on Contact Your Councilman. All of our cell phone numbers and email addresses can be found here. And you can also sign up to meet with Councilman Gilmore directly in person or via Zoom. If you're a city employee, we have a special day for you. If you're a regular constituent, we meet you on Thursdays. If you're a land use applicant, there are also special times and dates available for you. With that said, y'all be great on purpose. Peace and power.